Yeah, Bay Manuel, good evening. Yeah, a lot of people talking about my mate Kevin Sumer. A lot of people saying, oh, we didn't know you knew Kevin Sumer. I've known Kevin Sumer, what, 30, 40 years, maybe even more than that. We go back a long way. We was like kids, and you're fighting. People hear about you, this story, that story, saying, well, mate, he's got so many stories, mate, about your life, yeah? I went, I know, Kev, but was I really like that? He said, mate, you was murdered, mate. Do you know what I mean? Kevin was the same. He's got stories about me. I've got stories about him. He's fantastic judo and all that, and jiu-jitsu and all sorts of different martial arts. I think he's about 8 dan, 6 dan, something like that. He's a handful, mate. Kevin Sumer. He's a handful, and there's a lot of people that he knows that are also handfuls. When we was there yesterday at Windsor, big tent. It was massive tent. There was about what, I don't know, 10, 15, maybe more of us, like, and the old firm, like years ago, you got the old furniture, and I'm thinking to myself, imagine all us lot walking into pubs years ago. People didn't stand a chance, you know what I mean? We was really, really bad, and now you're all sort of like mellow, growing up, and you're not into that, but there's a lot there. There's some people there that are really, really dangerous. Yeah, mate, it's some really dangerous people that was there last night, yeah. But that are just, got big companies now, big businesses, and just carry on doing what they're doing, yeah. But if they're ever called on, mate, they're sweet. And last night, me and Kevin walked around Windsor, inside the place, and was talking, just talking about old times, and then he brought up Stephen French, and he's saying to me, listen, mate, Stephen French, right? If you want to talk to him, you can talk to him. He's my pal, right? We can have a podcast with him if you fancy that. I said, yeah, it'd be great, yeah. So he said, 1 minute, and then he got on the phone to me. All of a sudden, he went, listen, if you want, we can go for pie mash, piles and mash, just have a sit down, have a chat, have a nice bit of food, and then go over to your place, Ray, and do a video or podcast. Yeah, I said, yeah, that'd be fantastic. That'd be good. Like, he's got a good story, isn't he, Stephen French? You know what I mean? He went, yeah, there's a lot being said, there's a lot being done. I had to go to court for Stephen French years ago, and there's a lot of bad things said, and we had to get it all together. There's things said in the book, and Ray said it goes back a long, long way. Yeah, he says Stephen French is a proper nice guy, mate. He's a proper hard man in his time, and I said it's like everything, isn't it? People come up and coming people come up, don't they? For the ranks, and then you just mellow down and go down into the ranks. You know what I mean? Same with Steve. Stephen's he doesn't want no more trouble in his life. He's had enough trouble in his life. What does he want no more trouble for? We've all gone through that sort of thing. He don't want no more of it, mate. And but he's going to come and have a good. He's going to have a good podcast with me. We're going to go back, talk about Yami and all this, talk about everything. You know what I mean? How was it? How did you feel when Yami come round? Where was Yami when you met him? Was it at the station? Did you pick him up and all that? I want to know everything. You know what I mean? Just like a proper story, and a good podcast with him and Yami. And I just want to be able to sit down and talk about it. You know what I mean? How was it? What you have to say? How did you feel? Feel confident in yourself and all that. Because. He's done a lot of talking, Steve. Yami didn't do much talking. Steve's done loads and loads of talking. I'd like to see if he's the same sort of person with me, if he's the same sort of person that he talks all the time, and that we can get into a good conversation with him. I know we can because I'm a fighter. I'm ex pro in a way, really. I've trained as a pro. I was a turn professional and mucked it all up. So really, I'm a fighter. You know what I mean? A good fighter, and all I was. Stephen French, same thing, mate. Got all belts and all sorts of taekwondos, jiu-jitsus, and all this sort of thing. A very big, powerful, hard man in his time. And to be around Liverpool and Manchester's and all around them places, you've got to be a bit near the mark, mate. I think I think he didn't get the respect that he should have got. With when he was with Yami. I think he should have had a lot more respect than what he got. Because the man is a powerful man. He hasn't got to prove. He hasn't got to prove himself to no man. But there's a lot of bad comments about it, and I feel people should really, just say, well, we're out of order of what we said. Yeah, the guy is a proper guy, and he's a proper hard man that's just mellowed, yeah? Just mellowed, doesn't want no problems. People on licenses, big heavy licenses, like me, IPP, and the Amazon, I don't know, the Amazon license, I am definitely 100% on a license. I've got an IPP license. I've done 12 years now out on the street. And I don't want to go back in prison. Do you know what I mean? So it's like you get to a certain age in your life where it goes, enough's enough. You know what I mean? Enough's enough. No more. I don't want more of it. Just just want to mellow down, get on my life. My book, my book is just unbelievable. My book is so much content in it. I'm seeing the book writer tomorrow, the ghostwriter. There's a few things he wants to talk to me about, like certain names, certain places, more photographs, and yeah, and that's it. Where we're going to have the book signing, we might have the book signing around Ealing somewhere, Ealing Broadway, somewhere like that, because where we're thinking we're going to have it, there's a lot of transport. You've got Ealing Broadway Station, you've got all the buses, you've got everything. You know what I mean? So it's easy to get there and easy to get back. Yeah. So yeah, but, the book signing's gonna be really good. Be some great photos there. I just want it to be good for people, I don't take no liberties with people. Just get it a nice book, yeah. Hoping that something else is going to come out of it. I think Kevin is going to do a podcast in a minute with someone really, really important, yeah. A lot of people now, because of Kevin Suma, is come onto the YouTube, and because of me and other people, he's going to be wanted by a lot of people to come on YouTube and do a podcast because he's well known, he's well respected, knows a lot of people, and he's gonna do one with me after he's done his one with this other person who's a nice guy, and I'm hoping this guy will more likely get me on a podcast with him, do a podcast. I've got another one, Woodall. He's wants me to do one with him, but I don't want to do anything now at the moment until I get my. I mean, I spoke to Woodall, yeah, and he spoke to me the other day as Adams and said, well, when am I going to come down and do a podcast? He said it will be a good one, which he will, because he brings it all out. He's very good. But I said to him, look, I really would like to come down and see you, but I really want to come down and see you when my book is being released. Yeah, I want to be able to, you all to read my book and sort of ask me questions and all that. Yeah, but I don't want to do the podcast before I do my book. You know what I mean? I want to do my book and then do a podcast with you, so and people can see that. And honestly, it's such a fantastic book. I mean, honestly, it really is. It's the best book that I've ever read as such. I read, reading through the book, when the book writer, ghostwriter, Matt, has read the book to us, yeah, in stages, 14,000 words at a time, every day or whatever, 14,000 words. And, mate, you think to yourself, is that my life? It was my life like that, yeah? And was I, as a child, abused that so badly, you know what I mean? And when we first done the first 14,000 words, yeah, me, my mate Terry Haley, also the book writer, I mean, we was like tearful, mate. It's something that can get to you, you know what I mean? It's like, hold up, can that really happen? And, you know, like, do you know what? Yesterday, when we went to Windsor, my mate Lee, this guy Lee, nice guy, sat next to me with his wife, and he kept talking to me about things. And he was said to me, which is quite true, do you think that you was born to be the person that you are now? And I said, you know what? I don't know, because all my brothers and sisters, they're all straight people, never been in trouble with the police, maybe something stupid, like a car license or a car whatever, but nothing like really gangsterism stuff, you know what I mean? Like guns, attempted murders and all those sort of things, yeah? I said, no one in my family's ever done anything like that except my dad. My real dad died when I was one, yeah? His brothers were bad people. Is it hereditary that I've took that part of it, yeah? Or is it the part that I was sexually abused as a child, physically, mentally, and everything? Is it that's made me the person that I was years ago, yeah? And, I just said, look, I don't really know, I don't know. Perhaps me being sexually abused has maybe sparked it off even worse than whatever, you know what I mean? Because I think when kids, you got to remember, yeah, when I was sexually abused, I always thought that me being first sexually abused by my whatever, a police officer, I thought that I've always, all through my life, yeah, from growing up as a child, being abused or whatever, I always thought my first sexual abuse was from a police officer in a police block of flats. And this went on for years that I believed that. So when it comes to me being in any sort of trouble with the police, I hated that uniform. I hated that authority. So I'd always fight that uniform and I'd always fight that authority. So those people, when they arrested me, they had a fight in their hands and I would have really, really hurt them. That's what made me the person that I was, yeah? I always fought the system, always, because I hated the system was what they did to me as a child. And it was only later on in my life, that my brother Keith, right, told me, maybe when I was 50, 60 years of age, that the man that sexually abused me wasn't a police officer. He was my auntie Gladys's brother. I went, you're joking. He went, yeah. It was your Auntie Gladys's brother who sexually abused you. He was a known paedophile. He was in the army, got chucked out of the army because he was a paedophile. I went, Keith. I couldn't believe it when he told me. The whole, it's funny, because me as a child, I got photographs of me with us all, me standing next to my Auntie Gladys and my Uncle Don, standing there. And when he used to come round my house, the daughter, one of my cousins, daughter, Christine, she was beautiful, and I always liked her as a kid. It's a kid's thing, innit? But when they used to come around my house, Uncle Don and Uncle Gladys, I always felt really, really uncomfortable. I just something cringed inside me every time they come to the house. And when I see the photograph of them at the wedding, and I haven't been out of prison very long, and I see that, and I went to myself, wow, fucking hell, you know what I mean? And it was them, it was her brother, because my Auntie Gladys was very simple. Yeah, always very simple woman, very simple. Just the way she was, and you could understand what her brother was like. You know, and she was very cuddly to me and kissed me and all that. And I always felt uncomfortable. Now I know why. And I said to my mother, why didn't you tell me, Keith, before? Why didn't you tell me about this? I wanted to know, Keith. You know what I mean? So because the reason why we never told you is because we thought ourselves raised in prison. He doesn't. He just thinks that's what's happened because he's very anti-police and all this, that, and the other. If he finds out this guy was sexually abusing him in such a way that made him the way he is, he'd go and kill him. So they waited all them years to tell me, and it all played on my mind so much, and go through all them years like that, and then to be told it's someone else. Mate, that was the biggest shock ever. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking to myself, all the years that I've been anti-police, against the police, in every shape or form, breaking jaws, everything, yeah, and getting big birds for that, yeah, and really, it wasn't me being anti-police, really. It was the way I was taught. It was thought it was them, yeah. It made me like that, yeah. It's mad. It's mad. It's crazy, you know. And and I think to myself, fucking hell, man. You know what I mean? I wish they'd have told me. I wish they'd have told me because you don't know how many more people that guy has sexually abused. Did he abuse my other brother? Because my other brother was always up there with me in the attic where this guy lives. Did he sexually abuse my brother? My brother's kept it quiet. I don't know, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. Yeah, and then going in the home and it being sexually abused in the home, it seemed to be that I was one of them kids that just get picked on all the time to be sexually abused. What was it with me? Why? What was it? The way I acted, the way I was. They looked at me and thought, "Oh, you here, dude? Here, dude? We're sexually abusing him," and they did it, And yeah, I would like to think that me being like I am is because I was sexually abused as a child. Anyway, this is Bang Bang Radio. Please press the like button, subscribe, and not that.